Welcome to Trading Lounge and the daily US stocks for Thursday, September 8. I thought we'd just have a quick look at the S&P on the monthly chart. This is log scale, and this is the sort of worst case scenario I wanted to start with here. So this would be looking at the top of the market here and looking at all of this move down here essentially as wave one, and then we would go back for wave two, which we've done already, but we're just going through that at the moment, and then come down for 3, 4, 5. So we'd actually have 5 waves come down to roughly 3,000 and then have a bounce, so an A and a B and a C. For here, we know wave 4 can get a bit complicated, but just having it in a 3-wave move and coming back to this wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. And the reason for that, normally you would be looking at this wave 4 to pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, and pull back to here. But that's not the case, because when we look at this this third wave here, for example, then we can look at it's pulled back 61.8%. This is log scale here as well, but still same. So I'll just put that there. We can see that it's pulled back to the 61.8%. So that would be the same situation that I would take from here to here as well. So that would pull back to here. So that would be bring us back into the 2,500 area. Just want to remove that. Yeah, we can get a better fix on that actually. So we can just go to here, and then we can see that this is the 61.8% to this point here. So I'm thinking this, if this would be the worst case scenario, the other situation here is that what we're looking at is an A wave here, a B wave here, and then down to the C wave here, coming closer to the 3,000 area, and then moving up from that point. So they're the two things that I'm sort of got on my mind at the moment with all of this. I mean, obviously the bigger one sort of sounds and sort of feels a bit more in tune with what's happening in the global environment. Things do shift and change pretty quickly though, and we tend to get lost in the here and now with things and act emotionally. So that's just our nature. So we need to be mindful of our strengths and weaknesses in viewing things. And yeah, but anyway, I just thought I'd have a bit of a look at that situation. And we can have this move down here as wave 1 and back for wave 2 here at the moment, but we're looking at it in a couple of different ways here. If we are going to have a third wave down, we won't miss it. We'll be all over it to a point. So that was that. I just thought that, just wanted to share that a little bit. So yeah, I mean, this A wave up here, that could be wave 2 with all of this as well, and then all of this down here can be wave 1 to here. We could put, I'm just starting with a clean chart here, have wave 2 to here and come down for wave 3 here, or we can have this here as an A wave here and a B wave here and a C wave over here, and this A wave here would become the B wave over here, and this is what stock is telling me at the moment. And then we would have this come down. So we'll see the angle of this come down, and we'll be short in this leg anyway, so don't worry about it too much. And then looking for a wave C to the upside, and then we'll come down from that point. So the wave C up here would be the top of wave B at that point, which would be this wave B here. So there's a good case for this, because there's stocks like Apple that, just put that up there, there's stocks that, let me just get a little bit more in here. This move up through here, we can count that in as well, that should be this is an old chart. We're also considering that as a bull market, but an A and a B and a C wave up here. So it's quite clearly that it's in 3 waves up here. So we can look at it as wave 2, that's possible. We can also look at it as wave A. And the reason I'm looking at it as wave A for is because there's stocks like Apple that have a reasonably clear 5-wave structure up here. I mean, most of this sort of pattern here would come from stocks like Microsoft. But there are stocks that have 5 waves up there. So if they do have 5 waves up there, that means we need to look at this as a corrective move in some way, and then look for another move up here before we have our wave C to the downside, or wave 3 to the downside. So we're just sort of working through it all, you know. I mean, my motto is we sell new lows and we buy new highs. It doesn't always pan out, but most of the time it sort of puts you on the right side at the right time. So kind of got to start with that, and then we use the price here. You know, we look at the closest largest number, and if we're above that on support, well, then we would look long. So we're under this 4,000 at the moment. So it's nice if you've traded up here, you know, that's fantastic. But personally myself, I wouldn't go long before a large number, because this kind of thing can happen now. So I need to wait for a nice support there. I need that number on my side. So that's the sort of basic way I've sort of moved my way forward with things. The Elliott wave count, that can be extremely helpful at times, and other times it can lead you astray and get things wrong, and that's why we have money management. And yeah, and at the end of the day we try to make a little bit of money, and so on. So with this particular move here, you know, the thing is that I can see that you can count this down in lots of different ways, and there's problems with pretty much each little way that you do it. There seems to, whichever way you want to count it, there seems to be something that's not quite right in that particular count. You know, nothing that I can see that can settle in and give me a really confident count in this move down here. You can count it down in WXYs, in ABCs. You can count it down as an impulse wave. You can do, you know, a few different things with it, you know. So it does make it a little bit tricky, whichever way you want to look at it. So I think it's good to just say that up front, and then come up with a strategy that's going to kind of keep you safe. So yesterday we talked about the markets in terms of Wednesday and Thursday being swing days in the market, and then the trend resuming, you know, for the Friday and the Monday and the Tuesday, that type of thing, you know. So that's pretty much what we're going for here at the moment. That's what's occurring here at the moment. So I think that we won't be looking for any trades today and Thursday, but on Friday, late Thursday, we can start, Thursday afternoon session, we can start looking for weakness in the market. And if we find that, and then we can follow that through into Friday, and then we can hang on to those until Monday, or right up until Tuesday, really. So that's the strategy. And then the thing is to kind of figure out what this is all about, because, you know, we could look at this here as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave up here. But in the gist of things, we can also look at this as wave 4 here, and we're looking down for wave 5 here. And we could look at this as pretty much as an ending pattern in here, you know, the ending diagonal sort of thing that comes into here in this particular way. So, you know, it's not doesn't sort of jump out at you, that particular sort of move, but, you know, markets end like that. You know, that's how sometimes they end. So I'm aware of that and calling that wave. If we have to call this wave 5 here, then we'll need to shift wave A here and wave 1 here. And if we do that, then we need to put this wave C over here further, and then wave A up here for looking for 5 waves up here, and then look for a B wave back here, and then look for this wave 2 or wave B over here, and come down for C or wave 3 over here. So there's a variety of ways to count this. So I think that we just be a little bit chilled about this, and Wednesday and Thursday can be counter trend rallies. Being if we're in a bear market, they'll be counter trend in this bear market, and if we were in a bull market, well, then they would be counter trend in terms of pulling back. So I won't go into the bullish weekly cycle and the bearish weekly cycle things too much at the moment. But as I mentioned yesterday, we need to be mindful of Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll try to pick up because the trend is to the downside. It hasn't really broken out any channels. I've just taken the two low points here and put this across here, and you know, it'll probably breach it. I mean, trend lines are kind of useful until they're not, you know, but it's really about the 4,000 here. And the other thing that it's about here too is that we can look at this move here in terms of 1 and 2 here, and I need to sort of get into that a little bit more here, but basically, you know, do we have 5 waves up here? That's the question. And then even when we get 5 waves, we would get an ABC back here, which could also be the 1, 2, 3 to the downside here, because if we put this wave A over here and wave B over here, that will leave us with wave C over here for this, you know, and then we could put that there as wave 2 or wave B here. So we do need to be sort of over this a bit, you know what I mean? So that's where Friday can come in, but I'll talk about more about this when we do the indices video. We'll drill into that. I just wanted to let you know that this can be, realistically, can be counted in many different ways, and thanks to everybody that sent charts in, and everybody's, you know, offering different counts, and I can see that there is an issue, you know. I mean, that's the main thing. And sometimes with Elliott it's clear and clean, and you can use it, and sometimes it's not. And if it's not, the trick is to be honest with yourself and say, well, shit, it could be anything, you know, so is it any good to me? You know, do I need to pick up another type of strategy here, you know? So that's kind of where that's where I'm at the moment, you know? I mean, I know, you know, I don't believe things. I need to see things, you know? Yeah, sure. So that's that. Let's just cruise along. Sorry for taking up so much time on that. So when we come to Apple, just what we talked about then is the same thing as well. So just keeping it simple, we can count it down as 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and I could put wave 5 on this low here and look at it as wave A here, and then come up for an ABC back up into the box here. And yes, I could call it wave 2 up here, but like I mentioned, this move up here counts as 5 waves better than it does counting it up as 3 waves. So that's why I'm thinking we've got the A wave up here and we need a B wave down here, and I was thinking that the B wave can, I thought this might be the ABC to this point, and it's possible, but I'm not really seeing any legs at this point. So I'm thinking that we're going to have, I'm thinking that we need, when I'm looking at stocks, the stocks are telling me that we need to come down. So it's sort of telling me that we're not finished. So I think that we've got the A wave to come to here, then the B wave over here somewhere, and then the C wave over here. I think we've got a slightly bigger picture happening with all of this. But in the meantime here, Apple hasn't really lifted off the ground like the indices have, just as we've seen then. So in this case here, we've got, we could look at this as wave 1 down here, an A wave, an ABC for the B wave, and then up for the C wave for wave 2 here. And then we could, that's probably not finished, another little move there perhaps, and then come down for wave 3 here. I mean, obviously it's going to bounce off the 150 area here, but this is sort of what I'm thinking here, is that we've got this situation happening, and then we get a wave at this point. So we've got wave 3 here, 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish off. If it does move up here further, well then that's good too, you know, and we can like zoom in and have a bit of a look at that. But yeah, I mean, Apple's, you know, stochastics is up here. The market hasn't moved up much. It doesn't want to move up. It's being pulled to this number here. So that pressure is still to the downside. And that brings us to Nvidia as well. So, in a way, we've got wave 3 here. I can have orange wave 4 here as well. It doesn't really matter at this point. We're looking at this yesterday as one here and looking at wave 2, but we didn't breach new lows here. So I'm going to look at this as the A, the B, and the C here for an A, B, and C here for this. So I'm looking for 5 waves up here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're probably, I need to pull that, have a little bit of a look at that. It's not jumping out at me too quick, but it's probably the 3rd wave here, the 4th, and the 5th. So another little move up here and then rolling over at that point. So this is the same sort of thing as Apple, this particular one. So I think we've got 3, 4, 5. So we can be short here. We could probably go short probably at that point here. I mean, you could do that a bit earlier, but we'll have a look at those short trades tomorrow, you know, unless you want to sort of count your 5 waves up here and then short it. You know, because this is a corrective pattern. It's unlikely that this is wave 1 and 2 here, because the wave 2 is quite big. You know, it's more, it's a correction. So you have the guideline of alternation: simple, complex, simple. Or you can have simple, complex, and more complex in corrections. But being a wave 2, we want to keep it as simple as possible, as a 5-3-5 structure. Also with Amazon here, I could look at this as wave 3, 4 and coming down for wave 5 here, but I think I'm better off looking at this as an A and a B and a C with 5 waves coming down. So just opening up the ABC pattern and then a larger move up here. Now, of course, the market could just continue down from this point. So we will be short in here somewhere. We will be short, and we'll keep an eye on the speed of this, which it comes down, because if it's lazier, this is the speed of the A wave, which is normally quite quick. If we see the C wave coming down at the same angle, or sharper, then we'll know it's a wave 3. But if it's coming down on less of an angle like this, then we'll know it's a wave C. The personality of the structure will be helpful in guiding us to what we need to know at that point. It's possible to have this B wave, this larger B wave sitting up here? Yeah, of course. Is it possible to look at this as wave 1 here? Yes. And 2 here? Yes. And 3 coming? Yes. So, but we'll be short here all the same, you know? And we might be in a C wave, or we could get lucky and we're in a 3rd wave to the downside. So we don't know that just yet, you know? Like I said, this is a corrective move up here. So it's a bit like the S&P, I guess, in that way. I won't bother going in there too much. We'll dive in there tomorrow tomorrow, and we'll look at that top coming in here. No real sort of change in this particular market here. We're looking for a new low here. I can count it like this. This is a daily chart. Or I can count it like this here. Not a big difference, but still come down whichever way we want to look at this. There's a couple, yeah, doesn't really matter, but we can see, we know that a lot of this is corrective movements here. We know that we've got sort of impulse structures down here, so we know that we can come lower at this point. Just go into 100 ticks for folks that are in there, and let's just look at this. So from this wave 4, we've already come down from, let's just get a bit more data in here. So from this wave 4, I'm looking at 1, 2 here, 3, ABC for 4 here, bringing this over here, and just trying to get that timing down with all the markets in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish off here. And then we can go for our bounce at that point. So that's our sort of thing here. Once again, I can look at this as an A wave, an ABC for the B wave, and then up for the C wave. I mean, we might only get an ABC up here and then come down. Obviously, we can look too short. I'll just put this in here, and our job tomorrow will be to lift all these up a bit closer up into this space up here. Yeah, I'm sort of okay with this. I mean, you could probably count this a little bit different here in maybe some triangle pattern and put the wave 1 over here for that. But I just feel that we need to come down further on this, and the Wednesday, Thursday counter trend rally is playing out quite nicely. This Netflix here, we've got nice 5-wave structure on the daily chart here for 1 and 2, then 1 and 2, nice strong 3rd wave, corrective rally for 4th, down for the third and the fourth, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. So we've got, in this case, there's no qualms, no questions about, we have 5 waves from the top of the market here, right? So that 5 waves here, after a correction, we'll have another 5 waves down. You know, it'll be simple as that. As I said with Netflix before, is that you know, if we go into recession, then yes, there will be, you know, jobs lost and more people at home and things like that. But the first thing that goes is you know, things like this here. People can watch YouTube for free, you know. So I can't see this stock being, you know, I wouldn't have it in my super or anything like that. You know what I mean? It just doesn't sort of add up to me. But besides all of that, we can look at this move up here as an A wave and a B wave and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So this is corrective here. So we know that this is corrective. We know that, well, we've got 5 waves coming down here in the bigger picture. So after a correction, we know we're coming down. And to confirm that, secondly, the second box ticked is that this move up here is an ABC correction. So yeah, so there's a few different ways we could look at this. It's a little bit sort of complicated in here. I'm still looking for it to come down. The only sort of thing here is that I've got wave A here and wave B here. I could put wave B across here a little bit. So if this market pushes up above these highs here, then we'll put wave B over here, and then we'll look for wave C here. And as you can see, it's, when you think about it a little bit, you know, this whole structure down here as wave A here, I mean, this little structure here is wave B or wave 2. I mean, I don't think this is wave 1, but it's just too small, isn't it? You know, there's no sort of thing. So that's why I'm thinking, or it's just another reason why I'm thinking that we shouldn't be bearish too quick, but we will prepare for it. But I think we can get that snap back in that space. I think we're on 100 ticks, so we'll go in and have a look at that little area there. How far do I need to go? Well, that's the top of wave A here that we just talked about. And I'm thinking that we need to come down here further. So in some way or another, I was thinking that, well, I haven't really changed too much. We've got the A wave here, the B wave here, and then 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5. Now, as I mentioned, if this pushes up here a bit higher and takes this out, I'm going to have to put the wave B over here and then look for 5 waves to the downside. So, yeah. So we'll just see. It doesn't matter too much, but we'll expect that, you know, that Wednesday, Thursday rally and then down again. Tesla here. So with Tesla, we looked at wave 4 being here, but the possibility of this being a B wave here rather than a wave 1, because I couldn't count it in 5 waves here. That was my issue here. We had 5 waves here, and then we had a correction. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Don't worry about this spike too much. So it's hard to put this down here as wave 1. So we had the B wave here. Now we've got 1, 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and going up for the 5th wave. So this is likely, I haven't counted in here, but you can do that. Look for that 4th wave over here. So we'll remove this one here, and we'll look at this as the A wave, the B wave here, and then we'll start looking at this as 1 and 2 down here, which we'll do tomorrow. Now, I could also, and that still stays, everything still stays pretty good, because we've got wave 1 here, 2 here, and all the way for 3 here, and ABC for the 4 here. Now, I might need to change this as well, but once again, I just wanted to get that from wave 4 to wave 5 here. That's the kind of, that's the my central theme to the markets, is getting that 5 wave structure down here to to get to this point. Yeah. And the other thing here, you know, I could put this, I could also put this here as the A wave down here, and the B wave over here for this if it goes a little bit too high as well. But I still know this move down here is not in this whole move here is not in 5 waves here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. This move here is in 3 waves, or I can go an A and an A, B, C for the B wave, and then this, so this is corrective here, you know, so this also supports this being a B wave over here, whichever way I want to you know, put lipstick on this thing. So yeah, anyway, nothing much to do today. Tomorrow afternoon will be the thing, and Google here, I've just sort of rearranged this a little bit here as well. This can be this here, I've got this as 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and then all the way down here for the 5th wave to make wave A here. Then I've gone an A and a B, because it's hard to get 5 waves out of this one as well, and then looking for 5 waves up here. So I'm going for an A and a B here, and then 5 waves down. So once again, tomorrow we will look for we'll look for this to be topping out at this stage. I don't know if that's the right place to put that. Could be 2 more little moves up here. You can see you can count that in different ways, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1 and 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, 5 here, so you could go that way with it. Go 1 and 2, 1 and 2, or 1 and 2, yeah. So yeah, anyway, we'll see that about that tomorrow. That's okay, but we'll try to catch that short trade. Well, it's, you know, this type of thing here, you have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then failing at that time. But even if we get, yeah, anyway, we'll just let that play out there, and we'll check on that tomorrow after Thursday's trade. And Microsoft here is, yeah, I sort of expected to find some good support on the 250, but also finding from a little wave 4 here coming down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish off for this wave B, and then push up into wave C here. But at the same time, we know that we could have a rally from here and come back down here for this. We can we can have this as the A wave here, and we could have this as the alternative B wave here. But the problem with this is, once again, it's just a little bit too small here. Unless you wanted to work this into 5 waves here. I've got a bearish count here on the 2K tick, so let's just go check on the bearish side for a moment. I suppose you could jam 5 waves into this and look at this as wave 2, I guess. But anyway, as a 5 wave move down here, it would look like this. It would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, then the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here, and then come down into this 3rd wave. So we'll be aware of it, and all we'll be looking for is a classic trading levels pattern set up here. You know, we don't take breakouts, we don't short the breakout of things. You know, we wait for the retest, so we'll be doing all of that. But that said, just coming back to the daily chart for a moment, we're looking for this low in this B wave here, and we'll go to 100 ticks. So once again, just fitting it in to have this wave 4 here with wave 1 and ABC for wave 2 into the box here. And so expect Thursday to sort of push higher but struggle, and then sort of, you know, make its way down, and we'll be looking at 3, 4 and 5 down here for this. So we'll see how quickly that moves and so on. But yeah, no, that's how that fits in with the rest of the general picture. And Berkshire Hathaway here doing the same thing. So 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5 coming down. I can count this differently as well. I was looking at this. I don't know if I finished this off here. I was doing some homework on this. Yeah, another way to look at it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then having an ABC, so a higher move up here. So I'll just keep an eye on that. But still, I still want my A, B, and C down through to here. And yes, we could call it wave 2 here as well. So we'll look at the speed of which this comes down. It's not like this A wave has come down very fast at all. So yeah, we'll put that to the side. Block here, so still leaving wave 4 here and looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2. As long as it stays above the highs, below the highs here, we can work with that. Otherwise, we need to change it in some particular way. Maybe an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here if we get 5 waves up. But we're just not finished to the downside with the banks and so on here. So yeah, so with the Bank of America, I was thinking of this as a bit of a long shot, but as 1 and 2 and 3 and ABC for the 4th here and down for the 5th, because we have made a new low below here. But a B wave could do that as well. But if I put this over here, I'm really only getting 3 waves down here. So I'll just see how this finishes off here first before I do anything, but we will be looking for short trades, and you could probably look to short under here for this. But this does look like 1, 2 and 3 in here, and 4 and 5. The third wave's a little bit small. Let me go in here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could probably look at that as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave there. So yeah, I think it's tiring out. I think we could be okay with that. And JP's a little bit different here. I mean, I can look at, to fit it in with the other markets as looking as 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 to finish off down here would be in the same, give me the right timing across the markets, which is extremely important to sort of bring them all in together and get some sort of consensus. Now, if this pushes up here a little bit higher, like comes up and tests this further up here, well, then I'll need to look at this, bring this B wave over here and look at this as an A, B, and C over here, extend this whole move over here to here and then down. But we're not finished here just yet, so we need to look for that short trade, and I think that short trade should be coming on the late Thursday, Friday for that. Alrighty, I'll leave it all at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.